Hello everyone, I'm Arushi Lal from Cubers. Today I'm gonna take the second part of CSS3 animation and gonna discuss about main properties which are responsible for creating CSS3 animations. The first property is transition. Transition lets an element gradually change from one style to another. So in order to set the transition animation property, we need to set certain properties like transition. It's a shorthand property. It is used to set the other four properties. Those are transition property. The other one is transition duration. Next one is transition timing function. And the last one is transition delay. So these are the four properties which are used to set the transition animation for an element. So let's move to an example site. It has certain demos explaining these properties. So let's move to that site. So let's zoom it a little bit. Okay. So if you see over here, this is the basic declaration which is used in CSS style sheet. So if you need to set a transition animation for an element, you need to declare the shorthand property as transition. The other shorthand properties are WebKit, Moz, and O with the browser prefixes. WebKit is for Chrome, Moz is for Mozilla Firefox, O is for Opera. So this shorthand property is used to set the other four transition properties. Those are all is the transition property. 1 second here is the transition duration, the animation's duration, and ease in out is the transition timing function. So timing function is the speed curve of the animation. So along with ease in out, we have other timing functions also. So let's discuss the various timing functions used in transition. So if you see the container over here, it has different boxes. So in these boxes, we have applied transition animation. So let's focus on the first four boxes initially. Okay, so these are the first four boxes in transition animation. So these are the first four boxes, and these are the different transition timing functions also. So I'll explain one by one. Ease is the default transition timing function. Second one is the ease in. So in this timing function, the animation will start slowly and then end up fast. Ease out is another timing function which is opposite of ease in. In this one, animation will start fast and then end up slowly. Ease in out is another timing function in which the animation will start slowly, but then it gradually gains acceleration in the middle and then ends up slowly. Linear is the steady speed curve. So in this, the animation will be steady throughout. So let's move to the animation, and then let's hover on over on this container, and you see the animation on these boxes. Just focus on the speed of these boxes. Boxes have moved from left hand side to right hand side, and they have changed their shape to circular one. So the difference in the speed of these boxes is due to the transition timing function property. So let's focus on the last two boxes, that is custom and awesome. So in these boxes, we have used timing function property, but we have customized it. So as I said initially, these timing functions are based on cubic Bezier curve calculations. So we can actually modify the points in the cubic Bezier curves in order to, create an effect for these transitions. So if you see the awesome box and when I hover, you see that there's a jerk towards the left hand side and then it moves to the right hand side. That's because of the negative points in the cubic Bezier curve. So that's an example of timing function. Now let's move to another property of transition, that is transition delay. Okay, so here's an example of transition delay. So in this we have a white container. Inside the container we have a red circle, and inside the red circle we have blue circles. So actually we have different blue circles over here, but these are all accumulated towards the center of the red circle. So we have provided animation to this red circle and the blue circle. So let's see the animation. When we hover down on the container, you see these blue circles have shifted to the corners and sideways of the container, and the red circle vanishes. So this is the animation provided to these circles. So the transition delay property is applied to these blue circles actually. So if you see the animation, these blue circles are moving to their respective positions one by one. So that delay happens because of the transition delay property. Okay. So if you see the animation once again, the blue circles move one by one. So this is a property of transition delay. Now let's move back to the presentation. So let's move to the second property of animation, that is transform. So for transform property, we can actually create an animation for an element by changing its shape, size, or position. So we can actually create 2D or 3D transformations using these transform properties. So like for transition, we have certain properties for transform also, like transform. Transform is a shorthand property. It is used to set the other transform properties. Those are transform origin, other one is transform style, perspective, perspective origin, and the last one is backface visibility. So these are the properties of transform. Now let's move to an example slide explaining these properties in detail. So let's move to the slide. Okay. So here are certain examples of 2D transformation. So in 2D transformation, we have some transform properties. Like first one is transform skew. So in this one, the element is actually turned to a certain angle depending on the parameters given in the horizontal axis and vertical axis. So in this particular example over here, only horizontal axis angle is specified, that is 35 degree. So if you see the first example over here, the div is turned to a certain angle horizontally, that is 35 degree horizontally. That is the first property. Second property is scale. So in this particular transform property, the element actually increases its size, like horizontally means the width or height also. So in this particular example, the div element scale 1 time its original width and 0.5 times its original height. So this is the scale transform property of 2D transformation. Third one is rotate. Rotate property enables an element to actually rotate to a certain angle depending on the parameters. So in this particular example, 45 degree rotation will be there for the div element. The last one is translate property. In this property, the element is actually shifted to a new position. In this particular example, it is 10 px horizontally towards the right hand side and 20 px downwards. So these are the different transform properties used for 2D transformation. So we can actually specify it together also, these transform properties together also using the shorthand property transform. So let's see another example over here. See, there's a container with a border, red border. If you hover over this container, you can see that it rotates to a certain angle, and then it scales to a new size also, the element. So we have actually used rotate and scale property in this particular animation. Okay. So let's move to CSS 3D transforms. So before you create any 3D transforms, you need to know the browsers which support 3D transforms. So these are the browsers mentioned over here which support 3D transforms. So you need to keep that in mind. Now we have certain properties in 3D transforms. Those are translate 3D, scale 3D, rotate X, rotate Y, and rotate Z. So mainly we use these three properties: rotate X, rotate Y, and rotate Z. So these three properties are nothing but same as rotate property of 2D transformation only, but it will have the 3D effect also. So rotate X is nothing, horizontally rotate towards the X axis, rotate Y towards the Y axis, and rotate Z towards the Z axis. So in order to create the 3D effect, we need to add certain additional properties which I mentioned in the slide, like perspective and perspective origin. So if you specify these two properties also, you will have the 3D effect also for a particular element in your site. So if you hover down on the container over here, you'll see the animation of these particular div elements towards their respective axis. So these are the 3D transforms. Now see an example using these 3D transform properties. Okay, so here you can see a 3D cube, and towards the right hand side of the 3D cube we have certain range sliders to actually control the rotation towards the particular axis, and also we can change the range slider by adding on a perspective value to the particular animation, 3D cube animation. So here if you see the range sliders and then manipulate the slider by increasing or decreasing the value, let's see, X rotation, see it moves towards the X axis, the cube moves towards the X axis, Y rotation it moves towards the Y axis, Z rotation is towards the Z axis. So now if you change the perspective a little bit, if you decrease the perspective to around 313 and then change the slider of the Z rotation or Y rotation, you can see an enhanced 3D view of the cube. So perspective plays an important role over here in order to get the 3D effect. So these are the examples for transform property for 3D cube. Now let's see another example. That is 3D image slider. Okay, so in this we have actually 4 images over here. Like for cube we have certain faces. We have 4 faces in this particular example also. But we can only see the first image over here. That's because in the slide I explained a property called backface visibility. That's because in this particular example that particular property is applied hidden. So if we change the property from hidden to visible, we can see the other three images also over here in this particular example. So if we click here, you see the other 3 images are now visible to us. So that's because by clicking this one, the backface visibility property has changed from hidden to visible. Now if you click on any other image like image 3, it will move to the image 3. Image 3 will appear on the screen to us. So in this particular example, we have used rotate property also, the rotate transform 3D property also over here. So that's why the rotate animation is taking place over here in this particular example. So these are certain examples of 3D transform. Now let's move back to the presentation. Okay. So these are the two properties of animation. Now, in my next webcast, I'm going to discuss about certain interesting demos and interesting examples using these two properties, and I bet it will be really interesting. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope this information is useful to you. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.